we're going to be celebrating two things: the 10,000 subscribers, which I celebrated with you guys that night where we just did the countdown and everything, and that was awesome. But we're going to really celebrate tonight, because this is huge. This is really huge. I can't really stress that enough and can't say it enough. You know, when you go into something, I'm sure you guys know what I'm referring to. When you go into something and you just really don't know how it's going to turn out, like me starting this channel, my anxiety was at an all-time high. I've shared this often where, like, I barely got that first video out, and it didn't really feel that, it felt good getting it out, but then, you know, even the next ones, my anxiety was at an all-time high, blah, 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 and it just, you know, I didn't know where things were going to go, and I surely did not think, once I realized and understood what the process was and how difficult it was going to really be to become monetized here on YouTube, having to get to 4,000 watched hours, or getting, what is it? I forget what it is, like 12 million, I don't know, 12, like, I forget what it is, something for shorts. I'm like, man, this is not going to happen. Like, the watch time just was not, it was just, I was working really hard, and I was posting very, very, often, and it just wasn't paying off. I wasn't seeing that watch time go up at all. If anything, it was going down, and that is even more discouraging than anything else. Big time discouraging. And if it weren't for these lives, if it weren't for YouTube, in a sense, changing the formatting of how these live streams work, I most likely would have never have gotten to this first. Oh, and they changed. Then they also tiered monetization, which is awesome that they did that. So for the longest time there, which made it seem so much more impossible, was to get to 4,000 watched hours or whatever the shorts views is. It's in the millions. I forget what the exact number is, but it's insane. But they actually tiered it, where the first level of monetization, which includes memberships, merchandise, and like the super thanks and all that kind of stuff, super chat, super whatever else, is 3,000 watched hours and whatever the shorts views are. And then the second tier is where you get to the ads for shorts and longer content videos, which is where you start making the serious cash. That's where you get to get 4,000 watched hours. So the first thing was tiering the monetization. That really worked out for me, because it was 1,000 less than the 4,000, which I'm like, all right. So I think at the time I was like, I was just shy of 1,000 watched hours. So I'm like, okay, 2,000, like just over 2,000 more. This is going to be tough. And plus, it's a rolling 12-month period. I'm like, this is going to be really tough. But if I really, really, really dig in these next couple months, at least, like these next 6 months, we'll say, 5 or 6 months, if I really dig in and I really commit to these lives, which I did, I think, then I may be able to hit this 3,000 watched hour goal. And sure enough, it's paid off. And I chipped away at it. You guys tuned in, and it worked out. So obviously the next thing is to go for 4,000, because I'm not going to stop now, because now it's like I'm at 3,000. So now I just have to get 1,000 more, or probably less than that at this point. I can't see where my watch time is now at this point, because it's just stuck on the application stages, the phases, the steps, if you will. So it's a waiting game at this point, which you guys know me and waiting. It's like, oh, but I want it now, like a child, because I worked hard for that. You know, I worked really hard for that. I can honestly say I've worked really, really hard to get to this point, and there's no doubt about that. And yeah, it just feels good. Feels really good. So thank you.